Welcome back to Deadlands Wayward Guns. I'll talk with Chad a little bit since we haven't quite started yet. No, we should not need any air horns.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean,
Yes.
will there ever be something that is weak to air horn in this game? Maybe. I'm not allowed to say that.
What about slide
Look,
whistles?
look, like maybe
Um,
if we succeed, there can be some air horns of celebration, but until then,
well,
You
hello,
turned off chat's
hello.
funny noises, but you didn't turn off ours.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
we're always
that's true.
hilariously noisy.
That's true, but I can also kill you. That's the
Don't do that.
that's the
In real
competitive
life.
balance.
It's a weird
Don't do
punishment.
that.
You air horned in my game, I kill you real life.
Oh,
don't test her. She's just in the other room.
I'm willing to sacrifice epitome to gauge this.
Wow.
no. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's get back into things. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Deadlands Wayward Guns. We are not quite operating at full capacity. Unfortunately, our heroic prostitute, August, his player, was tragically waylaid by the wicked PTA organization, demanding that the player go and meet teachers for their child's school. So we're going to be playing by proxy tonight. And I think before I start talking any more about the game itself, how about we get into reintroducing our wonderful cast of characters? Because I only play all the background characters, all of the characters. Let's get to the real meat and potato characters. So I'm gonna go
Oh,
down.
like you don't love the Carruthers brothers.
The Carruthers, don't you take their name in vain like that. They will have a time and a place.
Okay.
So the going down the list alphabetically here. Let's start with epidemy. By the way, also, if at any point, I should add this into the title, if at any point you would like to see all of their info in one fell swoop, you can use the exclamation point cast command, and that gives you links to all of the socials for those who have them, or at the very least, their Twitches. You were saying?
Oh, I didn't start saying anything. You didn't let me start. Can I start?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Epitome. I do not stream, so I don't have anything to promote, though I will say, while it is early, it is time to start thinking about your annual flu shot. I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting it this early in the season, but they are beginning to be available at your local pharmacies. Help stop the spread of flu this year by getting your annual flu shot.
Hey. And next we have Ellie.
Hi, I'm Eliador or Ellie. You can find me at twitch.tv/Eliador and Twitter, same username. I stream very occasionally. I've been a liar a lot about when I was going to be streaming, but I actually do kind of have a date because in 4 weeks there's a raid in
Ooh.
Destiny coming out that should theoretically be doing the day one of. So you can watch me struggle through a first day one challenge. I've never actually done it before, but I'm pretty fucking good at the game, so it should be okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Next we have Hemlock.
Hello. I am Hemlock. I play MMOs and I draw stuff and I put bones in VTubers.
Boating
find
VTubers
me-
live at 4K.
They're very good at it.
Do you think Twitch would get mad at me if I use that as a stream title?
Probably
No,
not.
I think you should try it.
I think you'd be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Even
And,
if you're not fine, it'll be worth it.
and last but certainly not least tonight, Obsidia.
Hey everyone, I'm Obsidia, everybody's favorite Death Knight. I stream Mondays and Wednesdays over on Twitchy. On Mondays, I've been doing this ongoing. I think we're about to hit session 50 of my Eberron Ashes of the Last War D&D campaign. We are in endgame territory for it, so it's very cool. They're about to do a Fey dating sim. And then Wednesdays, now that my Iron Kingdoms short shots that I played with B are done for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be jumping back into Hi-Fi Rush to finish that and do some art days. So go check me out. I'm quite silly.
Right. And if you're here, then you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hello. My name is Beatrix Bunny. I am a taxidermy jackalope brought to life by love and slightly mad science. I do variety streams with a focus on roguelikes, digital artwork, and tabletop RPGs. And I'll be playing everyone who is not these characters. So, with all of that said, before we get too deep, I want to make sure that I give everyone some fate chips because I am going to be trying not to pull too many punches. So, probably be good to have those for all of y'all. So, to catch everyone back up, we last left off with our heroic posse of the Wayward Guns looking into mysterious goings on in the McClellan Outfitters and Hotel. What began as investigating strange noises in the wall and red water in the faucets quickly turned into an investigation of a murder, attempted murder, some sort of supernatural sabotage of foodstuffs, and finally to the culprit behind this rash of strange meat based misdemeanors, one Gerhard Lindum, having cornered Gerhard in the seat of what was once a virulent cult that lived beneath settlements of the pre-Columbian peoples of Chicago. There, a demonic heart, all body and flesh of it burnt away, but for the heart itself still beats, and the beating called to you weak-willed Gerhardt. And when confronted by our heroes, the nervous eater did the first thing that came to mind when threatened and frightened. He ate. In this case, he ate the demonic heart. In the spasming and thrashing of his body as bones cracked and flesh stretched at the seams, the lantern nearby Min was smashed over, plunging the room into darkness. And that's where we're going to start back up. So, I am going to ask everyone. Looks like we had you make guts checks last time. This is more me preempting things because there's nothing quite as annoying as having to break the flow of things. So these guts checks will come into play once you actually are able to see Gerhardt. But that can wait for now. First things first, we have to roll some quickness to see who's going when.
Okay.
I
Much
mean,
better.
Alright.
I will never get a good roll of quickness, I think.
Good rolls are for nerds.
It's true.
And B, are you gonna roll for August or should we?
Um, I think you can roll for him.
All right, I'll click his thingy doodle. You got a 5.
And just as a reminder, the audience's viewpoint is this little icon here. So if you plan
Can I
on,
move the icon so the audience can see what I cannot?
you know what? I don't think quite yet. When
Okay.
you first move, then we'll be able to do something with it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so you also roll a Mr. Linton. Let's use these dice. Ooh. Okay. Alright, I'll take those.
You
Okay.
don't need to.
Hmm?
You don't need to. You can just take very bad things instead.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Alright, so let's see. We have. That would be, I believe, 4 cards for Xenobia, or 3.
I think it's
3.
3 because
Yes.
it's 1 for succeeding, 1 for
Not a
each
botch.
race.
5, 10,
Yeah.
15, 20.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's 3 for me.
That is 1 for Brigitta.
Yep.
Mhm.
That is 2 for Min.
Yep.
That is 2 for Parrot. And 2 for August. Oh, of course. It would help if
You
I.
gave me chips instead of
Oh,
cards.
my apologies. Please give those back.
All right. And it was 3. There we go.
Let's recall the table. There we go. All right.
I'm like, if you don't want me to go, I could just get more fate chips. That's fine if that's what you're inclined to do. Xenobia survival build.
2 to Xenobia. These are for August.
Oh, all right. I will control August.
Well, I guess just because you rolled them, anyone who wants to can, I guess, at this point. We're playing
He'll
Calvin
be my
Ball.
preacher daddy.
I trust you with August.
Yep, you're good.
Give
All
the
right.
witch the preacher. Nothing bad could happen.
Now, It says you only have 2, though. Did I not?
You never gave her
You
Obsidian
never gave me
cards.
my
You gave her-
3 actual cards.
Slipping. Here we go. Come on. There we go.
All right.
All right, and then I also have 3 cards. Okay. So, let's start from the top. Do we have any jokers? If you have a joker, you can take it out at any point.
My highest card's a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's a 10.
Do we have kings?
I have a king of clubs.
Do we have any?
Epitome,
Oh,
you're enough of a king for everyone.
oh. I forgot to ask, actually. Do we have any aces before that? Okay, king it is. Okay. So, Min, the lantern that you had has been knocked away and out. You can hear something that sounds like the grinding of bone and teeth just a little in front of you. What does Min do?
Let me. Again, they closed out of my thing, so I have to find a thing again. Alright. You said directly in front of me?
Yes, I would say that.
Okay. Alright. First, I need to find where I put my key.
That is KI for those playing at home. Min is not a keyblade.
Tragically.
How do I find out what my key is again?
It should be vigor. I believe is vigor.
Bigger
for
die
you?
type. Yep, there we go. That's right. That
'Cause
sounds
it's-
right.
Yeah, because your key is the same as my strain, basically.
Hmm.
Exactly. Alright, I'm going to activate Devastating 8 Strike
Okay.
immediate and attack immediately in front of me. Give me 1 second, I'm juggling tabs.
Okay.
Alright. So first, Finding Spirit.
See. So, I will say, since you are in total darkness,
It's going to be
minus
there's
8.
going to be some issues with. I understand that, but he's also directly in front of me.
Yes, I'm just telling you that is the modifier, minus 8.
That's okay. Alright. If he hits, alright. Alright. So that's a key roll. That gets put aside for now. Now a bare-fisted attack.
Barebacking attack.
So I think a 21 minus 8 still hits.
Impressive. Yes, I would say that would hit.
Location. Lower guts, I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose, well, you definitely hit fairly high. Do you want to shift to that at all?
I don't think you have
Would
enough to shift to the head.
Yeah, I don't have enough to shift it to the head. Do I have enough to shift it to the gizzards?
What did you
That's a 10.
roll for lower guts? Was it a 9?
It was a 7.
Oh. I don't know if that's quite enough then.
How
That's
many
okay.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'll leave it there. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. All right. Then this is going to be +9.
Okay.
Nice.
28.
Wow. That is something.
So effectively, he knocks out the lamp, and immediately Min goes into action and starts defending herself, wailing as hard as she can to the thing she can barely see to begin with.
28, huh?
28.
Okay. Let's see.
I love you, honey.
I love you too. Is why I hope you are not too upset when I spend 1, 2, 3 white chips to soak this attack.
I'm not upset, but that's also because that means I'm eating through your chips.
You
Nom
certainly
nom
are.
nom.
Delicious snack. I will say that some of these chips are for Abby as well, so I can't actually use all 7 of these just for little old moi. Okay. That was a very solid roll. As the lantern gets smacked out of your hand and you reflexively strike forward with the ferocity of a great ape, you feel the hit does land, and you can feel this nauseating sensation of layers of fat and gristle and muscle shifting around the blow. Like the spot is almost gelatinized,
Ew.
and the force is absorbed.
I don't like that.
I'm glad. It means I'm doing my job. Okay. Next up, do we have any other kings? Do we have queens? Do we have jacks? Tens?
I have a 10 of spades.
All right.
Since you still can't see it, do you want to hold on to it, being our sharpshooter?
I kind of do want to do that. Yeah.
All right.
I believe that August has the radish of light, and then I
The
think I have a
turnip,
lantern.
yes.
Yeah, I think I have a lantern as well.
Does anyone else
Yeah.
have lanterns? I know that Min. I will say that while it was knocked out of your hand, you could find it and light it again.
I think I have bigger priorities.
Yes,
Yeah, 'cause
I would
think part of
agree.
it was we didn't want the gun people to have them since they have
Well, I
guns.
can't literally have
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
but
just hang it
those
on
of
the
us who only
barrel of
use
the rifle.
one-handers are fine.
Yeah. How much is the
Oh,
penalty
we
for
need
that?
some mad scientists.
Let's see.
Make an underslung lantern for your rifle. Bullseye lantern.
Honestly, I don't think it. Like, how heavy could that possibly be? A couple of
You wouldn't
pounds,
need any
it'd
mad
be
science for that. You just need some duct tape.
It'd be like one of those laser sights.
I mean, I think I could have a lantern on my hip. I think that's more feasible than my
Get
gun.
a miner's hat.
Ooh.
That would also work, yes.
That would also work, yes.
So if you're gonna hold, I go on a 9 of clubs if it's
Yeah, I'm gonna
relevant.
hold.
Okay. So next up is the nines. Who has nines here?
5 clubs.
Okay. Doesn't sound like there's any other nines, so what do you want to do?
With my lantern, I wish to move forward. 2, 3, 4. Well, I can't see anything. Just by illuminating. All right. 2. I still don't see anyone. The first thing I'm looking for is if he has like the books anywhere. If he has a site that looks like might have the books.
Right. Um,
I'm
you.
halfway through my movement, so let me
So
know.
I will say that you can faintly see there is one other lantern in here. It is over to the top right, the north
All right.
east of you right now.
Then I will back up a little bit so I can start moving that way.
Oh,
6.
oh, oh,
What?
oh. Do you see something?
I see Min.
Oh, I see the other thing too.
I
Mhm.
kind
I
of
see
see the
it.
other thing.
Oh boy, this
Um,
means I get to have the guts checks for y'all now.
Yeah, I rolled a really bad roll.
Oh boy, let's take a look at those.
I got 11.
I think I had a 6.
Okay. All right, so it looks like
I'm in danger.
Brigitta and Parrot certainly are.
We are sharpshooters.
It's unfortunate.
Uh-huh.
That's fine.
Not all of us are crazy occultists like me.
So you see a sight a little reminiscent of an artist perhaps maybe a couple of generations before your time, but you might, if you were a cultured adventurer, be reminded of Francisco Goya's painting Saturn Devouring His Son.
Oh yeah, I know that one. I'm an educated woman.
In
real
the
Was
life.
that a thing? Was that a
in
thing at this time
it
period,
was
or
it
was that in the
was
20th
it was
century?
painted sometime it was painted between 1820 and 1823.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Now
Yeah.
you know. This is a history
died
The
in
class
more
too.
you
1828.
know.
Don't know how easily we'd see it because it was painted on a wall in his home, but
It is he has become a stretched out, spindly limbed, blubber gutted giant, but that blubber is all of his body's fat is rapidly being diminished as you look, as his body is still squelching and squeezing into a much larger, still just barely human shape. And you can still see that in one hand he has brandished a shovel, and half hanging from his jaw, he occasionally is using his other grotesquely large hand to hold it in place. He's still gnawing and grinding at the heart. So,
I see.
for those of you that can see it now, namely Brigitta, I can Parrot actually see it from here? I think Parrot is technically still unaffected. That guts check is going to come into effect the second you see this thing. But for now,
I,
you still haven't, as far as I can tell, because it looks like you're still in the shadows.
I still have what is it, nimbleness? So I still have 3 more points of movement, or no, one
Ye-
more point of movement.
Yes, that is correct. And let me roll real quick. Let's do for Brigitta. How are you feeling, Brigitta? You feeling lucky with your fear checks?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That's the
I'm
spirit.
always lucky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Known for one thing, it's roll 20 luck, right?
Heyo.
I mean, yes. And
That is
many other
not accurate.
lucks.
Not accurate.
I'm gonna shift the audience POV.
So,
There we go.
Brigitta, as you
Uh-huh.
look and see this giant looming out of the darkness, you are immediately reminded of stories that your father would tell you growing up of huge stone-like mountainous humanoids that would wander through the forests and
The trolls,
rocky
yes.
landscapes of your home. This is something that is distinctly out of your own personal little nightmare.
Uh-huh.
And for those around you, you would see as she's having this moment of struggling not to regress to the childhood reaction to the same horror. She turns white as a sheet. You lose the rest of your actions for this turn.
That makes
Aw,
sense.
man.
1d6 wind, which is 2 wind.
Mm-hmm.
And your actions are at a -2 for the remainder of the encounter.
Oof.
At a -2.
Oof.
Oh,
I'm also just going to
That-
preemptively roll for Parrot.
sucks.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'll take care of this now since I can see you now. So
All right,
Let's-
well, I'm gonna
I'll
move
just-
forward my last foot.
excellent. So also, is there anything you want to do on your turn here?
You could. I'm debating if I want to cast a spell or not, so you could let me
Alright.
pair it.
So Parrot, you are also horrified by this caricature of a human, but I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but something about being raised and growing up in the 19th century circus circuit makes seeing grotesque human alternatives a little less terrifying. You
I've
are,
seen worse from customers.
yeah, it is still something that does take you aback for a moment, though. You are going to be missing your turn for the round. Take 4 wind, and your actions are at a -2, but you can make a guts check on subsequent turns to recover from that.
Okay.
That is an action,
better than
though,
what I
just
have.
as a heads up. So you can move on a turn, do movement-based things, but if you want to actually try and recover from this, that will take an action.
Okay.
Okay. So, that's... Yes? Did you figure out what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and throw some crimson lightning at him.
Oh,
choice.
such classic.
So I will pay my my 3 strain and my 3 wind to try blasting. Let's go. It's a level 3, obviously.
Okay. Let's see. An 11 will hit.
Okay.
Roll for your damage.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Fire. I swear I have it down somewhere. Combat stuff. Here we go. Crimson Fire. 10 damage of
Okay.
magical.
Would you like to describe what the spell does?
Yeah, so as you know, Xenobia has her heart-seeking ritual knife in one hand and her lantern in the other. She looks at this monstrosity unfazed, as this just reminds her of one of her cousins, as she will make arcane gesture with her ritual knife, cutting through the air, ripping portions of crimson energy about her hand and blade as it arcs across her fingertips and up the blade in a pentagram of red lightning that courses out and goes straight into his I don't know what location we'll see. Do combat stuff. Location. Right is Gizzard, so I think I actually got an extra die of damage.
Oh, sweet.
So 14 damage total then, as I go right into his intestines, crotch.
All right.
I don't even remember what my guts check was.
You
can
know
scroll up a little bit.
what?
Back.
Let's try and do a
9.
vamoose.
Okay.
You gonna try and juke me?
Yeah, I think I am.
Rude.
He's a rude guy. He's killed people. That's pretty rude.
Yeah, the point.
All right, so it's not a great chance, but I still might as well give it a shot. Nope. All right. So Gerhardt tries to move out of the way of this blast, but is still caught squarely in it. And
Awesome.
you see that some of that excess gristle around his midsection is just being seared away like that. You can smell the sickly, sweet, burning smell of red meat on a fire.
What?
You heard me?
No. Min doesn't understand exactly what happened. Because at one moment she is in glop, and the next minute it is now burning.
All right. So that was 9. Do we have any other 9s? Do we have any 8s? 7?
I don't go again till 6.
6.
I do have a 7.
All right, 7, you're up.
Give me 1 second. I am actively folding laundry.
All right.
Okay. You know what? That worked so well the first time, I might as well do it again. This time without the -8.
I believe in you.
Good, because I don't. Alright, so first is going to be... I am doing the angry, devastating ape strike. Let me adjust my key. I need to find a better place to notate this. Alright. No. And key and a 5.
You're also probably in the thick of it enough that I can switch us over to some more battle-y music and slightly less horror.
All right, that's an 11 to hit.
Let's see, an 11. That will... Let's see. Yes, that will hit.
All right. Then upper guts location, I don't think I can move that anywhere.
No.
No. All right, then that is going to be plus 10, 16 damage.
Spicy.
16 to the guts.
To the upper guts.
Right in his heart.
I see what you did there.
This gal with the jokes.
The jokes.
I know I have music for this. Gotta find my dang battle music.
Why would you need music? We just won, right? Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
Still need to get at some point for me to do a Xenobia Ojisama laugh.
Absolutely.
When we win.
Yep.
Probably best to save that, yeah. That works for the stream. Doesn't quite work for all of y'all, though.
That's fine.
All good.
I can focus on murdering without bardic distractions.
All right. Okay, you said that was 18?
16.
16.
I'll take 18 though if you want.
No,
I
that's
like that
okay.
situational +2.
Yeah.
Okay, so... And that's in the guts. Yeah, I'm gonna try and chip that.
Chipping away at him.
So that is a red chip. And I think that just means that I have one chip left for him. So I'll have to be careful.
You'll love to
Oh,
see it.
sorry, son. I almost stepped on the boy.
Oh.
Oh,
Alright.
shoot.
Oh no. Alright.
No, he got his nail split beat today, so he's already been traumatized once.
Oh. Alright. So. You throw another punch, channeling your Yuri and your ki with a mighty ki as you shout. The force of the ape lands true again, and once again, you can feel the same pulse you felt through your gauntlet before, as the heart beats stronger and faster to soak up the damage that you're sending its way.
I don't like this.
I'm not sure we're supposed to like it.
Ideally, no.
No.
We're the good guys.
Alright. So far that is one level of wounds to the upper gut, I think?
Upper guts from me.
Nice.
Okay.
It was lower guts for Xenobia.
No.
Okay.
When I burninated him.
Alright. So, that was 7, yes?
Yes.
Alright. Do we have any other 7s? Alright. 6s. We are up.
August has a 6 of clubs.
Okay. Do you have a 6 yourself?
No, I have a 5.
Alright, I am still got a 6 of hearts. So first things first. First things first is I need to roll a couple of stun checks to make sure that he is not going to be stunned by all this, because that would suck for me.
That would be an absolute win for us.
Yeah, it certainly would. Let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, there we go. Okay, yeah, he's good. Alright, so first at the start of his turn, there's a special roll that he can do to see if he gets to ignore his wound penalties. Right. Yep. Okay, so he effectively has no wound penalties for this round. Let's see.
Weird.
Next, let's have him do a little sneak-in check to see if we can get him out of this immediately dangerous area. Okay. Alright. So he's gonna start moving. you can try and follow if you can make a visual cognition check. Target number 9 with the penalty, since this is effectively, I would say, torchlight of -4.
I believe in you, man. I believed you did correctly. 27.
All right. So Min,
Okay. Give me a moment. It's 23.
all
I
right.
think she follows him.
So Min, you are tuned in to this thing now. You are able to keep your eye on it, and as it's bolting away, you are able to keep track of it. Is there anyone else who's currently able to see Gerhardt that wants to try and not lose sight of the giant flesh-eating man thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make a
This
check.
thing
I
is
failed.
a thing of nightmares. I would like to not lose sight of it.
I failed.
A
And
-6, so that's an 8.
-4. Oh, you have the
I have
situation.
a
Yeah.
-2 as well.
Yeah.
All right, so
You were so close.
so close. All right, so let's see.
This is all on you, man.
Let
All
me
on you.
let me also roll for August. I think that he would want to see this. Okay, with the -4, that is 3. Yes, so it is just Min who is able to keep track visually of him as he, to all intensive purposes for everyone else, just sort of vanishes.
I scream.
He's probably going under your bed as we speak.
Yeah.
You feel a rush of air, Min, as he leaps off this central stone podium, and you move. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And Min, you are able to just catch the end trail of his scuttling across the ceiling of the chamber you're in,
Catch his
As-
entrails.
as he comes to rest just a little above one of your friends.
Yeah.
And
One.
let's
Which
see.
friend?
Which one?
Oh, let's see.
which friend?
Let's
Hey,
see.
None
which
of the
friend
others
be?
can see you, so.
All right, a 3d10. Come on, big numbers, big numbers.
Not so.
Oh, that's an ace. Okay.
We,
All right. You are able, just in time, for the huge clawed limb wielding this grotesque shovel. You're just in time to shout out a warning to Xenobia
What?
to turn around, as from the ceiling he swings at you. That is an 11.
Well, I'm gonna try and parry him.
Okay. So that is Vamusen. So you have to roll a fight-in roll of 11 or higher.
Yep, it's worth a try.
Might as well, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
Alright. Fighting. That's a 6. Can... So if I toss a red, I get to add a die, and you get a fate chip. Is that right?
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay. And I will do that.
All those chips I ate through.
Sorry, but that's an 11.
Mmm, yummy,
6 plus
yummy.
5. My heart-seeking blade whipping out.
All right. It's not even so much that you are the one doing any of this, of course. This is, at this point, purely the instinct of a blade that has been around for far longer than you, has taken far more lives than you could hope to take, even if you were to pivot careers to being a very successful and productive serial killer. But you are able to come around and parry the swing of the shovel. Sparks briefly fly, and Gerhardt is going to take the rest of his movement from there.
All I could think is Metal Gear Rising: The Rules of Nature.
Oh my god.
You wouldn't
My
be
knife
wrong.
blocking this giant shovel.
All right, he's still on the ceiling, so let's see if he can scuttle a little further away. Let's go. Okay. And then there's one more roll that I need to make for him. Okay. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay. That is that for that action. Okay. That was 6. Who's next?
I have a 6 of clubs, or August has a 6 of clubs.
All right. So I have a missive from August's player that he would try to focus on support actions, healing people up where needed, handing off the explosives that he's made earlier to Min to give someone who has a better chance of hitting a thrown attack. We'll try to keep Abby out of danger. And if forced to in a pinch, would also use the turnip.
Okay. I think in light of that, can Abby do a explosive delivery to Min? Since that seems to be August's preferred way.
Yeah, I think I would allow that. Abby is right next door to August, so...
Yep. Yeah, so I assume that August
Right.
would give her one of the, fire bombs, one of our Molotovs,
Woof.
and have her scamper over to Min and call her a good girl. And then also call Abby a good girl.
Min's non-binary.
You used feminine pronouns at the start of this
I know.
fight.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Yeah, so you have... let's see. It says that he had enough time to make 6 total. So let's start small with just 2 for this first round. I think that's reasonable for a dog to carry in her mouth.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, let's see. I think Abby would then try to use a little more of her movement to start heading back, because she is very good at fetch dog. I think she can get about that far. Okay.
And I would figure August would probably move a little bit forward to be in front of the 2 DPS people, so that he can ready some righteousness.
All right, where do you want to put him? I moved him
Um,
1 square so far.
Yeah, I think maybe 2, because he's also a light source, so it's helpful to move him like a little bit forward.
Ah, whoop. Okay.
Um, and does he have any like? Can he do an action, or was giving the explosives to Abby his
Uh,
action?
I will say that they're essentially acting as a unit here, so we
Mhm.
can
Totoro.
still have him do an action as well.
Okay. So in that case, can he try and do a protection against uh the German?
Uh, yes. Let's at the arcane abilities.
Hold up his crucifix and try to hunt away
Okay.
some bad juju.
So it doesn't say that you have to be able to see them. So
Yeah.
yeah. Let's do a faith roll. Spirit, faith. Gotta have faith.
Gotta have faith.
Okay, that's a
So,
very solid roll.
yep, 10 versus whatever the Gerhardt's spirit is.
Gerhardt is not going to be able to overcome that strength of spirit. So August stands firm as his prosthetic leg allows him to stand here and declares that this foul spirit will not strike anyone down today. He's calling him out. But Gerhardt doesn't seem to be able to respond yet. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. So that was
6 of clubs.
sixes. Any other sixes? Going on to fives?
I tossed my 5.
I have a 5 of hearts.
All right.
Yeah, we don't have any actions, the two of us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we should still probably put the cards on the table just so it'll be a little easier for later.
I can make a guts check, excuse you.
That's
For
true.
those next turn.
Oh. Let me double check.
Yeah, I think it was lose 1 turn.
Yeah, I
or
think we lose
lose
one
1
turn.
action, and then you could
Yeah.
try and recover.
Was I supposed to draw 3 fate chips when we started?
They
I
gave
got
the
'em.
chips to us.
I didn't get any
You didn't?
because my chips in my hand were incorrect.
Oh, okay. Well, fix that. No more
It is
cards. Well,
completely my fault, but
let's see. That is. Do you have any more now?
I do.
Okay.
Totoro.
I am where I should be, I believe.
Your chip city over there.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Make sure that you also put your cards out on the table, Brigitta and
I did.
Parrot.
Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I did.
You're a liar.
I'm a liar.
All right.
Apologize.
So that was fives. Does anyone have fours? Threes.
Parrot has a 4.
I have a 4 of diamonds. I'm sorry. I was getting a kiss in that exact moment.
Wow.
Damn.
How dare you get
Humble
smooched during
brag.
combat?
I'm sorry. My partner brought me pizza.
Oh, that is
That's
very
Aw.
romantic. Yeah.
You can't just accept a pizza and give nothing in return.
That is true.
So was that is this a turn, or I don't know how this game works. What counts as a turn? A card or a round?
So a card is an action.
I would choose cards.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go with cards, I think. I want to make sure y'all are able to be active in this.
Okay. So I do my guts check now.
Mm-hmm.
Cover.
Right. You're looking for a 7 or higher.
Nope.
That's
Do
unfortunately
you want
a
to use
3.
one of your build tips?
I'm gonna use a chip. I'm gonna I might use a blue one just to keep, because it's the same as a red, but B can't draw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm gonna use a blue chip. And
Alright.
it's just I just hit it again, right?
That is you
added.
add onto it. So it's 3 plus whatever you roll now.
So roll a
Okay.
d6, a single d6, and that'll be added. You want at least a 4.
It looks like it's a 2d6 for
I
for
thought the
your
blue was
guts.
you roll on an extra die. You don't roll plus the whole guts roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Come
just roll a
on.
d6.
4 or higher. 4 or higher. Come on.
50-50 shot.
You can do this.
I
Yeah.
typed rule.
/R.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
Do you want to do another one? Another one.
Give me another.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna waste another blue.
oh my god, do you have a white chip maybe, or?
Well,
You
why
can't
would
go
just
backwards. You can
Oh
only go
shoot,
forward.
that's right. Yeah.
We need to go upwards, not
Okay.
That is enough,
forwards.
though.
And always
Okay.
twirling towards freedom.
Okay, you have swallowed your heebie-jeebies, and you are able to face what is currently hidden from your sight, which is in and of itself, I would say, worrying.
Well, that's my turn. So
All right. Breeze.
That's August.
All right.
I guess he would just hold it. There's just. Unless. Min, do you want more deliveries?
I only have so many hands.
You
Hmm.
could
For now.
you could
Just
move
put 'em on the
forward to try
ground.
to see if we can see it.
I'll say with Min, with your roll, you were able to see that Gerhardt went off roughly in this direction.
Okay. But yeah, I guess he'll move about a bit forward to see if he can see anything. Could I make a cognition roll?
Sure.
Worth a try. Oh man, his cognition's not good. That'd be a 7.
Uh,
It's still pretty good.
yeah, I mean, considering he has only the one eye, that is pretty
Oh, then
good.
you might have lower. That might be a modifier to it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
-2, so he got a 5.
Still not bad.
Yeah. Let's see, with a 5. You know what?
Actually, I think it's still a 7 because the way it's written, it says more than 20 yards away, and I don't think this is more than 20 yards away.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
definitely.
I'm playing somebody else's character. People are wondering why I'm confused.
No, that's totally understandable. Yeah, you know, I'll say, let me also roll for Abby, since I can certainly try and help with that. I would say between the two of them, they can tell that he's still on the ceiling and probably between 6 to, well, somewhere between like 5 to 8 yards that a ways.
All right. He will, I don't know, point that out to the other members of the team. But, and aside from that, I don't really know what else to do.
Move closer so the light source is closer to the
Okay.
enemy, so we might be able to see him.
Yeah, I just didn't want to shroud you guys in darkness or anything.
That's fine. We can move as well.
Yeah. So
All
yeah,
right.
he'll move forward a bit.
Okay. Abby is not going to leave his side unless told otherwise. And yeah. I already have taken care of Gerhardt's last action, which is on the 2 of spades. So that
He goes
leaves
before me.
the
I'm
2 of clubs.
Okay, well, I'm 2 of clubs, so I guess I'm gonna do a quick try and gander at him, see if I can see where he is.
I believe in you.
I got a 6.
Well, he didn't technically re-stealth after that first attack, so I think I'll give you, let's see. I noticed your arrow there. Are you looking?
I'm going towards the other light, you know. That's my
Oh,
priority.
okay. If that is your priority, you can safely say he is not over there. Whatever is
Okay.
over there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
All right.
What do I see over in the other light?
So, over here, you see a rudimentary camp that has been set up. There is another lantern, which you can also take with you if you want to hand off to someone else. There is a stove. There is mess kit, backpack. There is a open crate, and you can see inside there's assorted foodstuffs. There's some firewood, and you do also see a starting to yellow and curl from the humidity down here, a manuscript or a historic text on the pre-Columbian Chicago peoples.
Okay, that's my #1 priority, so I want to grab that and put it in my backpack.
Okay, that's absolutely doable.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Top of the order, everyone. Roll your quickness.
Let's roll our quickness.
For those of you who are
on.
new to this system, initiative basically changes every single round.
7.
Use these 3 this
I think that's
time.
the highest initiative I've actually ever rolled.
I think this is the highest roll I've ever had.
Oof, that is not a great claim.
I have definitely gotten bigger gun rolls, but everything else.
August and I both get 2 cards.
Okay.
So just tell me which is which when you hand me them.
Right. So let's see. That is, I believe, yes, that is 3 cards for Parrot. That is 2 cards for Brigitta.
Yep, that's the first time I've gotten 2 cards for initiative.
Yeah.
Look, you have to have some sort of weakness to balance out you as
Look,
a player.
I haven't really shot anything yet, so you can't say that.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been the one that's been having the crazy high rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But B is still traumatized by college.
You gave her PTSD about it.
I mean, look, I did a 20-foot high standing jump.
On a broken leg.
Yes. I forgot about that part.
So the
Impressive.
first two cards are going to be for Zenobia's roll.
Okay.
The second two are going to be for August.
Nice.
And
Well, I know you love me. You gave me double queens. And Zenobia is
Oh.
truly a queen.
We-
August is not so much.
we are all queens. Except, well, except
gave
for
me
Epitome,
chips,
who's the king
not-
of queens.
Oh,
Not-
please return the chips.
I'm not sure which ones were which, I'll be honest. I think...
Return the chips or suffer my curse.
Look, I don't know which ones you
She
gave
doesn't
me.
know any better. Just pick chips.
Yeah.
I think it was a red and a blue, I'll be honest, but I'm not sure.
I appreciate the honesty. Those are high value chips.
Yeah, I know I had one blue for sure and one red for sure. So
Dealing the 2 action cards this time to
Thank you.
Ita. Okay, and
Okay.
then I am going to. Oh. Okay.
I don't
Interesting.
like the sound of that.
Don't mind me just flipping through the old rule book.
So she got a joker.
Yeah.
The fact that B always has the same amount of whimsy in her voice,
Oh,
whether it's good for us or good for the enemy,
It's
really kills
terrifying.
me.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. That's really flattering, honestly.
I'm gonna run my pizza crusts downstairs while you decide how you want to murder us.
You don't eat your pizza crust? Disgusting.
It's pizza from a brewery that we like, and the crusts aren't good.
Ah,
I would
That's
say that.
tragic.
truly tragic.
I'll eat a
Okay.
Domino's pizza crust because that's just garlic bread.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
true. That is just garlic bread.
It is garlic bread in the US, not over here, tragically.
Oh no,
Yeah, here it's just bread.
disgusting.
Alright. You just,
Speaking of
little old
crust,
me.
I have 2 pieces of stuffed crust pizza in the fridge waiting for me for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Alright. So,
Mhm.
I have some options. I think I'm
I
gonna
could
wait
tell.
on that one, though.
No.
I think I'm gonna wait on that. The
I'm
fun
scared.
little surprise tool that will help someone later.
What if we don't like fun little surprises?
And you're living a very sad little life. I don't know.
It's true, I am.
Oh,
Oof,
that's rough, buddy. Alright.
that is
That's
rude.
So, does anyone have aces?
I got an ace.
Ooh,
Back
baby.
here.
Alright. For those of y'all playing at home, Parrot is roughly here.
I am shrouded in darkness. I'm right there, like, right there.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh! Huh!
What happened?
We're now everybody's in darkness. You broke it.
Oh no!
Control Z. Control Z.
This is Clip Studio Paint.
No, I think you can Control Z that.
You sure? You should be
I
able
think
to.
so, yeah, you should be able
You're
to.
the DM. You did it.
You're the GM.
I
You can
didn't.
do it.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it either.
Oh my
Well, I'm
gosh.
We're
doing
moving the
crossfit.
line.
I'm not even touching my mouse.
I was
Oh,
on my phone.
Alright, let me see if I can drag a new... So, bad news, chat. We did kill the audience viewpoint. Let me see if I can get a new one on here.
You killed
We didn't kill
everybody's
these- Yeah, nobody
viewpoint.
can see right now, B.
I
It's
think
not
that-
the
yeah,
audience
I think
viewpoint.
Oh, he's big now.
It's a big
Where's my
boy.
character?
Chonky.
Okay, there you go. Can y'all see now?
Okay.
Okay, you
Yeah.
can't, but... eh,
Which
Looks about right for me.
direction cardinally did we say that he went?
eastish, I think.
Yeah, he went west, I thought.
Oh.
Those are two different directions.
Yeah, I think he
Alright.
went.
Sorry, yes,
this
I
way.
got them mixed up. I always do this. It's west.
Yes.
It spells out we.
I do it in French.
Roughly west from Abby and August's position. I'm experimenting with some night vision on the fly for our little token here.
Thank you. I'm gonna very carefully look for him. I get a bonus to looking at things.
Right?
for
Would you like
cognition
to come
rolls.
into the cave proper first? You're still
Yeah.
you're still in the hallway.
Yeah, that's the problem.
There we go. You came out. I'm so proud of you.
Oh god. The ambient noise you have in Roll20 made a really squishy noise when I moved my
Yeah.
character.
It's great. Well, you just need to find him and force him into a fight again, and then it'll switch music.
I don't remember how much movement I have.
You
It's
can
your
move.
nimbleness stat.
Yep, you can move up
Huh?
to your pace, which is it is based off your nimbleness die. You can move up to, technically you can move up to, I think, twice that, which is wild,
believe that's
like
right.
for whole round. And that's
Okay.
that's if you want to like run.
Yeah, I'm not
Which-
dashing.
That will tire
I'm
you out, obviously.
holding my gun and walking slowly.
Menacingly.
All right.
Uh,
You have a
Right,
lantern
I'm-
on you.
no,
Okay.
but I have good eyes.
All right.
Can I make a cognition check?
I will
August is a-
absolutely
is-
say yes. You have a general direction. I'll say that cancels out some of the penalty of it being very dark in here. Let's say it's at a -2 instead of -4.
Okay, so it's 0.
I
I
believe
have
in you.
+2.
I believe in a thing called.
Oh.
Nat 1.
no.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is
Why are you like this? I believed in you.
that is
That's why that happens.
that is
I should have never believed in my
unfortunate.
friends. More Xenobia
Oh.
action.
That is
Wait.
unfortunate. So
Ca-
that is a bust.
Casually
Yeah.
Yep. Opening the fate chips info that you gave us.
Mm-hmm.
What will fix this?
I don't think you can get out of a bust.
You can't roll out of a box.
Nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm here
a
now.
bust is a bust.
So the good news
go.
is there's a lot of really, really worse rolls that you could have gotten that on. That's the good thing.
Yes.
You know what? I will give you an option. Would you rather see something important that you don't want to see, or misunderstand what you see?
Oh, please take the first one.
Give me the first one.
Okay. So, honestly, it's really not even so much something you see, so much as it is something you hear. And this feels like a great time for me to bounce in with this Joker action.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You hear, not in front of you, but...
Above you.
Oh no, I'm not that mean.
No,
Under
no,
you?
No, no.
No, indeed. No, you hear from behind you the scuttling scraping noises of many, many little nails on the dirt and rocks, and the chittering of many small, hungry mouths.
That's just Abby.
Well,
I'm fine.
it's Abby, and also many rats.
I say rats to that.
I don't
I
like rats.
suspected there would be rats involved.
A surprise combatant has entered the fight. Rats.
It's not that surprising.
Let me play a little
Yeah.
Pika Rats. Pika Rats, right up here. Pika Rats.
Play some rat battle.
Oh, don't worry, I'll play more battle music once you engage with them.
Which one's Big
Rat
Cheese?
battle's my favorite.
It's a good track. I don't know why it's called Rat Battle, but it's a good track. Okay.
It came automatically with one more
Battle of
multiverse,
Rats.
and I used it probably once a session.
Alright, so that is the rats that you see / hear.
The ones I see.
Indeed, that's what I said. Okay. The rats will be moving on this initiative. Okay. Alright, so that's what you see with that check. Is there anything you want to do with what you have learned?
Can I shoot rat?
You can certainly try.
Oh, there's an August in the way. God damn it.
There's an August and a bee. The giant rat that makes all of the rules. Well, I mean, I guess in this context, that would be Gerhardt as well.
I don't have enough movement to get past him.
Where the hell did this sesame seed come from?
Well, the dog shouldn't be that high up for you to shoot something. It's a dog.
Okay.
You
Oh, she
should be
is-
able
I'll
to
use the
shoot
last
over it.
one.
She is an Irish wolfhound. Those are pretty big dogs.
Yeah, but she's still at all fours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not taller than like an August.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd like to try and shoot the rats. The ones that I can see the like little feetsies of.
Okay.
Little tootsies.
You're shooting by the yellows of their eyes.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, give me a shooting roll.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. It's
It's really
15.
good.
Yeah, 15, that'll hit for sure.
Used all my points on more gun.
Now, they don't have hit locations since they are a swarm.
Yeah.
But roll for damage.
I don't remember how to do that.
There should be
Oh, yeah.
Ooh!
17.
All right. You manage to lay down a bead on these rats as you swing back 180 degrees from where you were looking originally. For a brief moment, I think that August is very alarmed, and then the shot rings out, and you can hear the squeal of several small voices as, I would say, perhaps maybe a good 2/5 of this swarm is blown away.
Nice.
I'm going to say at a normal volume, rats. Because I can't yell.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Can you tell me what that sounds like for Parrot?
Rats.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right. So that was the ace, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we got any kings? I know we've got some queens.
We got some short kings.
Me,
We do have some queens.
not me.
Not me.
There.
Xenobia?
Yep. All right, Xenobia, what do you want to do? Oh, I think your mic is muted. There must
Yeah,
be
if you're
something going
talking, we
on.
can't hear
Sorry,
you.
I was muted.
Ah,
Moving
okay.
back. So
Alright.
4. Hey, Min. 5, 6.
You see there's this swarm of rats over on your left as you're coming this way.
Oh, charming. Can I make a check to see our big boy?
Sure. This is since you have a general direction, let's say a -2.
Yep, I failed. So in light of that, I am going to double move, putting August and Abby between me and the rats.
Would you like to
2,
give the
3.
lantern to anyone?
No, I'm like the only person who could use it. August has the turnip,
That is true.
and our gunners have guns.
Oh, I see something.
Oh. Yeah, I was just removing the lantern from the map since Xenobia has it now.
Oh, no.
No, I already had a lantern. I had one lantern already on me.
Are you all right? Do you
I
want
didn't
to?
pick up the second one because I have my knife in my other hand.
All right. Okay.
I don't understand why this is so surprising to you.
All right.
I was more meaning I
Oh,
see.
that's
the
a
big one.
guy.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That I see something.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
congrats.
Yeah, thank
Oh my
you.
God. He
You
was so
found a
close.
Gerhardt.
Oh, Mr. Gerhardt!
Oh no.
But yeah, that was my turn since I double moved.
Rest in pieces. You. All right. You know what? Actually, make a little cognition check for me.
Okay.
All of us? Or?
I would say Xenobia first. Hey, Xenobia. You notice that he's less wounded than he should be right now.
Oh no.
Cringe.
Okay.
Some form of regeneration, I see.
All right. Well, you have another queen.
Yep. So I am gonna do some spell casting.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Really? That reference here? Incredible.
Yep. Alright, so I am going to cast. I'm gonna.
See, is this the right audio that I was looking for? No, that's also not it. Cringe. I don't have the audio anymore. Alright, well, you know what? This one goes out to a little gargoyle named Hem.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna spend
Oh.
two strain to cast Sanguinary Ward.
Ooh.
It's a DC 7. I got an 18.
That'll do it.
So 12 and 17, so that's 2 raises. So I have an armor of 3 now.
Incredible. What does it look
Nice.
like when you cast this spell?
You see, there's actually, I believe it's all of the blood drains out of you.
Oh god, I hope not
I have to
all
see
of it.
what
You
the
need
normal one
some
is,
of that.
Yeah, I have to see what the normal description is, and then I have to add some Crimson Lightning. Sanguinary Ward. Your hero's skin becomes noticeably more pale as the spell draws the necessary essence from the small blood cells near the surface of my skin. So I become white as a ghost as my skin starts to crackle with crimson lightning arcing over my skin as my eyes become basically entirely white along with my skin. What little is visible, at least, because I wear mostly full body black to cover up my many scars. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
I
Okay,
armor up
you
with
are
these-
you are now very well armored. Okay. That's gonna be interesting to work with. All right. Is that your action?
Yeah, that was my turn.
Okay. Do we have any jacks? Any tens?
I have a 10.
All right, tens. All right,
10 of
everyone,
clubs.
quiet down. A 10 is speaking.
That's me. I have a 10 of clubs. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna move a little bit. I cannot move for some reason. My
That's
token
strange.
is stuck.
Eh,
Could you move it a little bit, like right there?
there you go.
There we go. That's working.
It
Okay, I'm
was.
gonna
I
move.
think it was because you were somehow partially
Yeah, it
in
was
the
it.
wall.
Yep. Don't know how that happened.
You
It
gotta
was all
stop.
this
You
time.
gotta stop no clipping, people. I
On
keep
your
saying
golden
this.
Prime,
I will
partially in the wall.
move there, and then I'm gonna pull my rifle up and shoot. Have a -2 to this. That's 9.
Okay. Yes. From this distance with these modifiers, let me make sure.
At this distance,
Yes,
with
you-
these modifiers, at this time of year,
even with the penalty of doing all this by lantern light, which brings it as a total down to a -6, that is still a 5, so that does still hit.
Okay. Well then, I'm gonna just lower guts.
Okay.
18 points of damage, or 18.
Ooh. All right. That's a pretty penny.
Mm-hmm.
That'll take a little while to buff out.
I really don't like you. I'm going to just not deal with the fact that you exist and just shoot you till you're dead. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Brigitta the Giant Slayer.
So do we have any 9s? Well, we do have 1 9.
Oh no.
Come at me, bro.
Okay. That can be arranged.
I can't parry it all, but I am very sturdy.
All right. You hear some exceptionally noisy skittering from several different directions. Let's go.
Gross.
Whoop.
Oh, I don't like that.
Whoop. Abby is still alive, Geronimo. And you are too. Everyone is, including Gerhardt.
Yes. Fortunately.
All right, let's make some rat attacks. Some
Rat
rat attacks. All right. Eee. Forgot how strong these rats are by default.
They are quite sturdy. Did you do a stun check for the swarm or whatever when they got shot?
You know, I did not. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that I'm being kept honest. Would forget otherwise. Alright. Okay, yeah. This one is, I believe it was over here. That one is going to be stunned.
You're welcome, Parrot.
It's stunned. Let's go with that one. Okay. Oh yes, Geronimo mentioned in her tactics that August's last resort would be lighting his prosthetic leg on fire to either use as a flaming club or to throw at something.
You'd love to see it.
That makes sense.
Okay. So that is only 2 groups of rats that are going to be attacking then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't like that.
Okay. So Brigitta, that is going to be a 11 to hit.
Yeah. Can try to dodge that, I guess.
Keep in mind that Vamusin, a melee attack means you would be doing so with your fight and aptitude rather than dodge.
I will probably not do that then.
Well, you still have fate chips, so you might want to use those. But let's see. You know what?
Will.
We don't even know how hard this swarm of rats that have been supernaturally strengthened by supping on the flesh of a fallen demon god could possibly
What's up
be.
on me, Daddy?
I mean, if you insist.
I just need you to stop talking. It's okay.
No.
Not you. Just be.
No, that's mean. I can't believe you would try to silence a woman.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Wow.
What's your damage roll?
Probably gonna be bad.
Let's see. Oh, that's hardly anything. You shouldn't be worried. As long as I don't hit in some sort of incredibly precarious area. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
My right arm.
That's only your arm. That's fine.
How much damage?
That is only going to be 1 level of wound to your right arm.
I will cancel it out with a white chip. I believe that's a thing I can do.
That is correct.
All right, here, have one of my white chips.
All right. Okay. And then for Xenobia, let's see what we get here. Okay. Rolling the right dice. Yeah, unfortunately I am. How many levels of fight and knife do you have?
I have 3, and I get a +1 defensive bonus from my large ritual knife.
All right. You are able to frighten off the rat swarm well enough. They're a little intimidated. It's a very large fang/claw to such small rats. Okay. Let's see. That's about everything the rats can do right now. So that's their turn. Now any other 9s? Any 8s?
Yes.
All right,
The
8.
diamonds.
You are up.
Okay. I will take a look at this monstrosity and these rats, and I'm gonna try to move away from these rats if I can. Put myself
Okay.
here,
All right.
and I'm gonna take another shot at
The
the
rats.
scary boy.
Ah,
No.
the scary boy. Okay.
The scary boy.
Okay.
He was a scary
Ew,
boy.
That's with the penalties is probably not
He
gonna hit.
said, "See you later, boy."
Let's see. So that is with the -6
It's
still.
a 3.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is not going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna boost that base at all?
Can I do anything? I can spend something to add to that, right?
Yeah,
you
you
can
can toss a
always
red or a
spend
blue die.
things.
I will
Bonus.
drop a red.
Ooh, fancy! Thank you for that
Or
fate
it's
chip.
I roll. You're welcome.
Another die,
Another die. Yeah.
and you add it.
Yep.
So you're currently a 3.
That is.
That's a 5. That's a hit.
That is a hit.
That's true.
Oh, I'll take it.
It's a hit.
Okay.
Where are we landing? No.
The
Okay.
face.
Ooh,
The
shit.
face.
360 no scope. What have we got?
That
here?
means 2
18.
extra dice. Holy hell.
Yep. 2
All
Oh,
right.
two extra
D8s.
dice. Hold on.
And you. It looks like you maxed one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does that thing where it doesn't roll if I have a +2. For some,
Oh.
it doesn't like.
Interesting.
Yeah. So let me. I need to roll 3 extra dice.
Yes. 3 extra D8s.
3d8.
This is gonna be quite beefy.
So
14.
14 plus 18 is
32?
32. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
see.
spicy meatball.
Ooh, all that on the noggin?
Mhm.
Right to his faceticle.
You know what? You were so kind to get me
Mhm.
those fate chips. I
You're
don't know.
welcome.
I don't know if I could accept those. Let me try to return some of them.
To me directly?
No.
Real quid pro quo hours.
Let's see. Let's do. I think we can get away with dropping what would be a 4-wound attack down to a 2-wound attack. I don't
I'll
want to
take a 2-wound
totally take
attack.
away from such a awesome shot.
Mhm.
I'm not mean.
I mean, a little bit, but I respect you anyways.
Well,
Debatable.
thank you. All right, and fair is fair. Let me roll the stun check. Gerhardt, what's your vigor, hon? Oh, there it is. That's a beefy vigor, Gerhardt. Damn.
I'm not surprised.
Yes. Yes, that would be just enough for a 2 wound. All right. Yep. That was a good shot. You managed to stare down the length of your barrel as you take
As I'm
aim
shaking.
at something that has haunted your thoughts since you were a child. This is literally something that some of your childhood nightmares have been made of. And
Yep, I am actually shaking. I was actually aiming for the heart, and I twitched out of fear to the head.
your hands are shaking, your knees feel weak, but you still manage to swallow the nerves enough to let your years of hunting instinct take over and take the shot, leaving a sizable chunk out of his face. Just an open wound at the side of one of his eyes, like he's just crying blood from the right side. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's all I'm gonna do.
All right. So that was that a 7?
That was an 8.
That was an 8. Okay. Do we have any 7s?
Min has
Yes.
a higher 7.
Alrighty,
I have
dighty.
a 7.
Let's see that
Alright.
beautiful 7.
No. There.
Okay.
And I think I hear the sun. No, maybe I do. I don't know. I'll figure that out in a moment. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And from that vantage point, I can see him.
Correct.
Molotov. Molotov.
I'm just wondering if I should get closer.
I don't know.
A little closer. No, no, no.
No, no.
There. Okay. So I'm spending
devil
1
talking.
key.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to use Vengeance of an Angry Ape,
Yeah.
which means I use my martial arts, but using my deafness die. Essentially, she's going to throw the Molotov up in the air and then flying kick it
Into his stupid
into
face.
exactly.
Phenomenal.
However, I don't have anything I can roll that is 48, so I'm gonna have to do this manually. All right, that's a 7. Don't like that. I'm gonna re-roll that. No, I'm not gonna get much better than that.
You'd have to probably boost it. Oh, but you don't have.
I
that
only have
much.
white chips.
Yeah.
I only have white chips, so I would just be re-rolling straight, and I'd have to ace.
Yeah, because it's a -4 right now for you.
Wait, why is it just
Because
because
it was
of the light?
-6 for Brigitta, who has a situational.
Yeah,
advantage over
in
shit.
in Torchlight it is a -4 to fight in and shoot in modifiers.
If someone wants to spend 2 chips on me, I'd be happy, but I'm not gonna ask for it. Shoot.
Let me check something. See if August can cheat. I don't have any fate chips for August, by the way, so I don't know what they are.
Let's see. I don't
can
know
use
if
chips
I
Wait,
on
does
me.
August have? Does
Yeah,
August
he has
have
sacrifice.
leadership?
Well, he has
He has sacrifice.
Yeah, he has sacrifice as a spell. He does not have leadership. He just has sacrifice.
I think it's. Oh yes, that is right. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what? Let me just draw real quick a couple of fate chips to see what he would theoretically have right now.
Yeah, if he gets a red or a blue, that would be the most clutch.
All right, so let's deal. So these 3, don't worry, I'm not gonna forget. These 3 are for August. He drew a white and 2 reds.
All right, he's gonna do sacrifice to try and toss a red to Min.
All right, so give me that faith roll. It is target number 5.
Ah, he rolled a 3.
Ah, dang it.
This is kind of important, so he's gonna use his other red to boost
Yeah.
it.
Fair.
So he gets the D12 for 4, so that's a 7. So he successfully passes a red to Min.
So
Which
calling
Min uses immediately.
on the Spiritus Sanctus and all of his holy righteousness, he's able to pass on forward some of that good fortune to Min for this.
And Min immediately uses that red chip.
Okay.
Hey! So
Thank
that
you,
was
by the
14.
way,
Great.
for the chip. I appreciate that.
That's 14 minus 4 to hit.
So 10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, a 10 will absolutely hit. Roll for location.
Location.
Hey,
Lower
lower
guts.
guts.
I will
It's
take
getting
it.
there.
I do.
Alright,
Oh, I'm short.
it's true.
And he is tall, so
So roll for damage.
what is the damage of the Molotov?
So it is 1d6 plus my strength, which is the same as the railroad spike, but it also explodes. So that's going to be 20 damage.
Okay. Flip back through the old bookaroo. Boom, falling, drowning, fire. There we are. Okay. I'm gonna say this is until get a chance to get the fire out. That is going to be okay, that is going to be a d8 of fire damage per round.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yeah, he is not gonna like that. So, roll the extra. The 4d8. That was the damage for the
That was my
Molotov?
strength.
Ah, okay.
So you add all of your strength die together for the attack?
Hold on, is this adding it wrong?
Yeah, because you rolled a 6, 4, 2, a 5 plus 3. So it just added all of them together. You didn't put a KH
son of
next
a-
to the 48.
No, I did it based on the. I did the button.
Yeah, it needs a KH. Otherwise,
Ah, damn it. All right, then not 20 damage,
so it'd be 9 damage.
9 damage. Still nothing to shake a stick at, but
Did you roll the additional d8 fire?
not yet. Give me a second. What do I add in front of the thing?
It should be 48 KH1.
KH1. I'm just going to roll to make sure I can do this. Okay, good.
That works right. It doesn't do the
then-
multiplier because you have the plus 1d6, but it'll at least roll correctly.
That'll work. I'll take it.
Yeah.
D8.
10 damage.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
And one of that is fire. So, we know
That
that
is
his
true.
heart doesn't like fire.
He absolutely screeches, and you can feel the room shudder at the touch of the fire. He recoils and is visibly shaken from that. You also can see, I'll say Xenobia, since you're the closest here. You can see also that some of the wounds that were actively closing up on him, taking the fire damage is pausing that.
Excellent. Troll rules. Also, did the sacrifice cost a card? Was that like a vamoose, or is it just something I could do?
That's an action.
Okay. So, I'll just toss a card from.
Okay. So that was 7th.
See you guys next round.
August doesn't go till 2.
Oh wow.
Right.
There's 2 of spades. That's something.
Yeah, funnily enough, oh, hold on, let me do this properly. Let's see. That means Parrot, you are going next.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
I believe in you too. I think you can do it.
I'm sorry, I'll take it back. I don't believe in you.
Oh, that's a little mean.
Last time I believed in her, but it just didn't go well.
Mm.
It's true.
I retract it. Wish nothing but ill will upon you.
Well, I mean, I got 2 turns right next to each other.
Daka Daka.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a little scooch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm shooting him. I'm shooting the man.
The myth, the legend.
And I'm doing that shoot as much as will be allowed.
Is he better illuminated now that he's on fire?
You know what?
Good
Yeah,
question.
I will say, let me set this up real quick.
That
I will
should
say
hurt.
with dynamic lighting, that is definitely worth. Let's do. There we go. 3 yards of illumination on him. From the
Nice.
fire. Okay. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's close. Yeah, that's not great, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Right. A 10. You're not did you passed the guts check, yes. So, yes, a
Yes.
10 will hit here.
Okay.
All right. Oh, roll for hit location.
Upper got so close to the head. Did Parrot get a raise at all with the 10?
No, I don't think so.
Because if it was a base 5 to hit.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, from the red chips, I only have 2 of these left. I think I've got to spend both of the remaining villain white chips I have here to avoid that.
You'll love to see
Okay.
it.
The heart is desperate at this point. You can see you've never seen a heart which at this point has sort of symbiotically started to grow and refit itself inside Gerhardt's mouth. You've never seen something as abstract as an organ look desperate before, but you can tell in this
Eating
moment
intensifies.
as Gerhardt is being drained more and more to prevent itself from being destroyed in this moment, that it is desperate at this point. All right.
Hopefully Parrot can double tap.
All right, Parrot, you've got the next action too.
Okay.
Let's fucking
I
go.
was gonna say that's my turn, and this is my turn.
Come on, Parrot.
11.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Roll that Lacassian. The leg.
Fuck.
Whew.
Tragic.
Can I? Shit. No. I don't have any blue chips, and I don't want.
To give little old me a chip?
I don't want to give B anything.
Well, I don't think you could adjust location with chips.
No, it would
probably
have
not.
to add on to the to hit roll.
You need a lot to get it out
yeah.
of the leg.
Like to do a called shot, that is. Let's see. If you're trying to call shot specifically
It's
I'm not doing
the
head,
guts, that would be
-6.
Yeah.
Heart is -10.
You know, actually, weirdly enough, called shot penalty is only -2.
My shot
For
is
the
like
guts.
real good.
For guts is -2, yeah.
Yeah.
For smaller locations, it's much higher, but for guts, not so bad.
Most
Hey.
of your body is guts.
All right. So, yes, so that is that is another level of wound into Gerhardt, this time into one of his legs. Ooh, buddy. You pull up another shot. You're in your mind, you are just blanking out all of this excess noise, the cries of pain from the flaming giant, the chittering, gnashing swarms of rats around you. You are just blocking it all out to focus on this shot. In his spasms, he manages to pull away from your focus on his core just in time to avoid that shot and take it into the leg instead. Fair is fair. Let's roll. Okay. Whew, he did not get stunned by that. That would have been bad. Okay.
I go
So,
on the 2 of spades.
I
Or
also
August
go
goes
on the 2
2.
of spades. So this
How
is
do you
gonna
also
be
have a 2 of spades?
Gerhardt.
Marshall has her own deck.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we shared a deck.
No,
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
don't have to share.
Quickness check, I guess.
Yep. Let's see. He's got a quickness of 3d6.
He rolled a 3.
He rolled a 5.
All right, you go first, I guess.
All right. Let's see.
Come at me, bro.
Okay. I mean, think he's got to try and put out this fire first, because that's real bad for him. So let's briefly drop to the ground to roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Actually, yes. Actually, yes. Okay, so that is 3d10. He needs to get at least a 5. Ooh.
Does he still get his wound penalties?
Oh, that's right. I have to roll for that special ability first.
Is that still enabled when he's on fire?
Yep. It's only the healing that gets disabled.
Gotcha.
Okay, 2d12. Okay, let's see. Yes, okay. Oof. Just barely. Okay, so he's dropped to the ground. He is extinguished. That does take his main action, though, which is not great for him. So let's do a movement action, I think, for him. Let's have him go.
Just going prone and then standing back up again impose any
Nope.
reduced.
This ain't no 5e.
That's too bad.
Real shame.
This dude's fucking
Real shame.
skittering.
Yep, he's on the ceiling. The ceiling is his home. He's very happy up there.
Stupid
Stop
spider
it.
giant.
All right. Let me now roll for the rats. Let's see if the rat swarm that was stunned earlier is gonna recover. Ooh. Okay, that was a 20. So yes, that rat swarm has successfully recovered. Good for them. You love to see a swarm of angry, virulent rats grow and heal as an individual. All
I
right,
love to see it.
kinda.
I don't.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And sensing that Xenobia is maybe a little too scary of a target, let's go 1, 2.
Oh no, Brigitta.
No. Stop it.
Brigitta's less scary of a target.
Yeah, stop it.
She doesn't have a giant rat fang. Alright, let's see. That
Giant
is...
gun.
Okay, 3d12, don't fail me now.
Let's fail her now.
Okay. That is a 11 to hit, Brigitta?
No.
No?
It just doesn't hit. Yeah, no, of course it hits.
Okay. Let's roll that location.
Or guts.
They're very
Alright.
low to the ground. It makes sense.
That's true. Alright. The swarm leaps up, aiming for your stomach. That is going to be... Oh, right. Have to add in the extra d4 from... Okay, that is going to be 2 levels of wounds to the lower guts.
No.
No.
I'll spend 2 white chips to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an amount of rats I can throw at you to make you regret spending those fate chips before a
Probably.
session.
Probably a lot of things you could do to make me regret a lot of things.
That's sweet.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, so the rats manage to gnaw and tear at the end of your shirt and bite through the lining of your jacket, but they do not find purchase before you're able to swat and bat them away with the butt of your rifle. All right, now let's try for Parrot.
I'd rather you didn't.
That's a shame.
If we could skip me, that'd be.
Do you have any levels of fight in?
No.
Okay, then a 5 is enough to hit. Okay.
I'm just a little guy, B.
You're
Just a little guy.
I'm so little.
And you're gonna have a wonderful little break to visit the circus after this if you survive. So you can look forward to that. Okay. Let's see.
Why you gotta be so rude?
All right. That is... Oh, silly me. I keep forgetting to roll hit location.
It was to the lower guts.
Oh, that
No,
was
I
for
was-
Brigitta. This is going after Parrot's left leg with... You know what? I think that roll was a little too high. Let me see if I can roll something lower. Well, that is still a... That is still gonna be... Am I mathing right? Yes, that would be 2 levels of wounds to the leg.
I'm gonna negate one of them.
Okay. Alright.
They only bit me a little.
Then give me a vigor check.
I forgot that rats are rats.
Oh, it's for the stun, I think.
Let's see.
Forgot how the world works.
The world is a harsh place.
That is 1 point shy. Before getting stunned, would you like to do anything about it?
Do you want to toss another white to just ignore both hit wounds?
Yeah, I fucking guess. I guess. I don't want to, but I will so that I don't get eaten alive.
Nom nom nom.
I'm glad. I wouldn't want to eat you alive. Even by proxy through evil rat swarms. Alright. Okay. And, well, that's the rats. Similar to Brigitta, since they were grabbing onto your leg, you were able to shake them loose before they could do any serious damage outside of fraying along your pants leg. And last but not least, let's see if we can hit the priest.
He doesn't have any fighting, so.
Okay, so a 6 is going to be enough then. Boop, boop.
Glad Min and I are here is fighting beefcakes.
Yeah, you're our front
Do
line.
better.
Oh, they are going right for the chest. Okay.
Oof.
That could be better.
It would have been
It's-
amazing if it was the leg and they just bite into the wood.
That is actually a mechanical thing that can happen. If you roll on a prosthetic, it does not count.
Incredible.
Leave his titties unscathed, please.
So that is 1 level of wounds to the upper gut.
Well, he has that one white chip, so he'll toss that.
Okay. Similar deal. He is used to things trying to rip off his shirt, so he's able to shake them loose
Oh my
before
God.
anything happens. Okay. That was my 2 of spades, so it is now August's turn.
August is going to have Abby try and nom some rattos.
This is something Abby can do. This is a service that Abby can certainly provide.
Abby enjoys it.
Roll 20. Why did you try and reload my screen, you silly little goose? Okay. Come on, Abby. You're such a good dog, Abby. Come on, Abby. There we go. Okay. Tooth and claw. That is... Rollin'. There we go. Dang. That is unfortunate.
Oof.
They're very fast, these little swarms. Abby's trying her best, but she is a assistance sort of dog. Not, despite being a wolfhound, she really doesn't have much of the hound dog instinct for hunting, unfortunately.
You hate to see it.
They're not really rat hunting dogs.
That's true.
No.
Alright.
We had a corgi.
You want a dachshund for that.
Yeah, we need a dachshund. Corgis are a cow herding dog. I guess, could he shoot a shotgun into the rats?
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that he's had enough time by now that he could have, like, assembled the shotgun.
Yeah, I thought everybody assembled it when we went it down into the living, dungeon of evil.
I believe that is correct.
Alrighty.
So- What? Look at this, boy. 1d6 gets a 17.
Oh, finally. Oh, okay. Also, since that is a shotgun, let's get this. Two.
It's a natural predator of rats, right? Swarms of them.
There we go. That is additional +2 to the shoot and roll.
I already added it in,
Oh, good. All right.
because I know the buckshot gives you the +2 to hit.
So which swarm are you shooting at?
The Abbey Swarm.
Okay, let's see. That's 1, 2. Yeah, so that is gonna be You'll probably want to step aside a little bit, maybe to like there, so you just
Yep.
just as a good habit to not have friendlies in a shotgun cone of fire. So that is gonna be 5d6 of
Yep,
damage.
love to see it.
Shotguns, they're powerful.
14.
Okay. These rats are on death's door.
Excellent.
Nice.
What few remain look shaken to the core. Is that a single action or a double action?
I think it only has skill shotgun. He doesn't have any equipment written down really. But he always talks about the shotgun, so I assume he has a shotgun.
We'll have to take care of that at some point.
Yeah, all he wrote down was the stuff from the explosive stuff we bought beforehand. So I have no idea what his actual gear is.
Fair. But we'll get him. We'll get him
Yeah,
set up.
But he always talks about having a shotgun, so I'm assuming it's there.
Okay. Yeah, so that is August's turn.
Yep, that's everyone on the good guy side.
I think we might be able to finish this in 3 rounds if y'all are able to
Yeah.
pin down the slippery devil again.
So
Okay.
hopefully.
Alright, that'll be quickness.
All right.
Let's
Quickness.
go.
Let's go.
Woo! Oh, that is bad luck for this guy.
What this?
Holy
what a
Zenobia!
How did you?
Woo!
Fastest witch in the West. Let's go.
I don't know
Incredible.
how any dice in this game work. I've got to be honest.
Exploding
If
dice
you-
are a hell of a drug.
Yeah, exploding dice are great.
Okay,
Got a 5.
so let's see. We have so we have
4 million cards. Or
Isn't it a max of 5?
2 for
Max of 5.
Brigitta and 2 for Parrot.
I'm gonna pay my 1 win to upkeep Sanguinary Ward.
Okay. We have 3 to Min. Yeah, I have the strangest feeling that y'all might be able to kill in this round with Miss 5 actions over here.
He has to get down for me to fully utilize that, because I don't have a gun.
Just throw the knife. That will probably work.
That's a terrible idea.
I will
5
give you my
cards.
gun.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have any shooting. I'm shooting pistols.
Okay, so that is for you, and then this last
Okay.
2 are for August.
Okay.
Okay. Starting, do we have any jokers?
Nope.
Okay. Do we have any aces?
Yes, August does.
All right, what's August doing?
He's gonna have Abby try and eat some more rats before he decides to shoot said rats.
Sounds like a plan. All right, Abby, come on, girl. Come on, girl. You can do this.
That's
She
good,
can
girl.
do it.
Dog
Excellent.
violence.
Yeah. All right, time to roll for damage.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah.
Spicy. She effectively noms the rats.
Well, I think at this point she's careful not to nom the rats. Even to a dog, I think she's seen enough evil meat things to realize maybe don't eat. Maybe actually don't eat these. So she stomps and tears and claws this rat swarm just completely away.
You'll love to see it.
Nice.
Alrighty. Augie then is going to shotgun the rats by Garrett. Sorry, that's the name of there's an NPC in one of my commands named Augustus, and his ex-wife always calls him Augie.
Oh.
That's cute.
Doggy.
So, August, because it's the difference between me saying Augustus and August. August is going to shoot his shotgun into the rat swarm by Parrot. Hope for the best. Might clip Parrot. It happens to the best of us.
So this
I'll
has
go
a
red.
+2 as well from being point blank.
That's 14 to hit.
Yeah, 14 will definitely hit. This is point blank, so that's a tasty 6d6.
Oh, okay.
This could easily just completely
Oh,
kill.
plus 2 more d6. There we go. 29.
Okay.
Big Daka shotgun.
I think you hit.
Yeah, that is... Let's see, did this have any... Okay, it didn't have any wounds on it already, which is the only reason why it is not instantly dropped. That
Turns out
does, however,
1d6
do...
shotgun is the
Yeah,
highest shooting you could ever expect in this game.
that does, however, do 4 levels of wounds to that swarm instantaneously.
Do they get stun locked?
Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised with results like that. Let's see. Yeah. These rats are not long for this world.
Good.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, that's August's turn.
Very effective turn.
Yep.
All right. So that was the king.
Aces.
Oh, that was aces. Now it's king. Anyone have king?
All right. I have a king.
I
What
have a king as well.
kings?
I have king of spades.
Ooh,
I
I
have
also have
diamonds.
king of spades. Quickness roll. Quickness
Can
roll
I use
off.
my 28? All right. So quickness 15.
Okay, that could be the start of an explosion. It is not, though. All right, you are going first.
Okay. So since you didn't stealth or anything, we can see him, correct?
Possibly.
All right.
It's still the dark.
Okay, then I'm gonna. Where did I see him skitter off to? It was further to the west, right?
Yes, it was
Okay.
further off that direction initially.
Okay, I'm moving 3, 4. All right, probably got there 5,
Okay.
6, 7. Still don't see him anywhere.
Give me a cognition roll.
I was like, we're at the like, edge of the map.
He's on the ceiling.
I know he's on the ceiling, but I'm like, he should be somewhere on the battle map. That's a 10.
All right, a 10. Let me roll this real quick.
Also,
That's
all the light
real
is now gone.
Yeah.
August has a light.
Yeah, but it's not on the map anymore.
That's weird.
Yeah, he doesn't have one in roll 20.
Yeah, you need to give him
Yeah.
back his light source.
All right,
since
let's
you have
see.
the player thing following me.
Should be on the. It should
Some
be
reason it is
admits bright light. That's weird. All right, well, let's try doing it like this. That do it? No?
No,
Weird.
not for them.
Huh. Weird. There we go. Let's do it like
we
this
go.
then. Dynamic
we go.
lighting. I gotta
Yeah.
figure that out. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my 10.
All right. Let me find out. All right. 3d10. Let's see what you can do here. Yeah. Ooh. You feel a drop of wet land on your cheek.
I look up.
Directly above you, hanging from the ceiling,
Ah,
okay,
I am gonna blast him
all
with
right.
some crimson lightning. It's a level
Then I
3.
started
A
blast.
25.
Oh yeah,
This turn is big Xenobia action.
yeah. Come
You love
on,
to see
big
it.
Dan.
You love to see
to
it.
see it.
All
Let's
right,
fucking
roll
go.
that hit location.
Yep. So how many raises is that?
Well, let's see. To target this close, that's not even within, like, that's not exceeding even one range increment. So it was like, let's see. It's a base 5, I think, to hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means, I think that means that you could move it. That be moving it up to 4 points away?
Would there'd be no point since they're hitting it in the gizzards.
Oh, yeah, if you want to hit in the gizzards for that extra
Well, if I
die.
can't hit him in the head, there's really no reason to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright. So that gives me an extra D8 of damage.
Ooh.
Love to see it. Let's go. Alright, combat stuff. Just this.
Hey,
What?
no, sorry, the
Oh, you're
cat's
talking
got
to me.
Yeah, you
something.
forgot to mute his cat.
21 crimson lightning as this scorching hot blood like fire comes out of my fingers.
All
Let's
right.
fucking go.
Right into his gizzards. Which I think I hit before.
So, I am going to set the stage, and then I'm going to ask you what happens next.
Thank
This
fuck.
lightning streaks up and strikes him in his center of mass, pulsing blood-colored electricity jolting through his body. You can see the heart loosened from the death grip his jaw had on it, starting to fall towards you. How do you finish this?
I am going
Sorry.
to uh lift my ritual blade up to impale the heart as it falls and just do a massive burst of the stored as all of my skin now reverts to my normal color and then goes immediately super red flushed as all the blood surges to the front as the lightning just strobes off my body and up my blade to detonate this heart.
Incredible.
Nice.
All of your companions, even as far away as they are, you can see this small red nova of light flare up for a brief split second, and then the split second after that, it just explodes in a shower of meat and viscera. And you can see the other rat swarms around. They too start to shudder, squeal, and explode into a thin red mist.
And as Zenobia is covered in blood and viscera now, she will turn to look at the party holding up her ritual blade with her slightly reflective green eyes and a big smile showing her slightly elongated canines. She goes, "Excellent teamwork, everyone."
Parrot claps.
I think Brigitta
Incredible.
just
Finn
sits
is looking
down.
concerned at Zenobia.
All right. So before we continue, uh, let me first say all of y'all have been doing absolutely fantastically. I am immensely proud of how well you have been handling yourselves tonight. So I am going to send a little something something real quick. Mhm.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear, but Totoro's yowling because he wants to play with his favorite toy, but doesn't want me to touch his favorite toy.
I love my dumb son.
He is.
Yes, I see your Christmas pickle. You yell at me whenever I get close to it.
So I'm gonna ask a couple of people to roll actually a couple of things.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I
you
will.
can respond as secretly or as overtly as you like.
I will, I guess, roll overtly. I got a 17. What is
Okay.
this turn? How am I rolling so well?
Hold on.
Do I roll spirit as well? Sorry, the cat is distracting.
Let me see. I think we're okay. I think we're
Okay.
okay for that. All right. Okay, so I I am going to check in with the players that I asked for roles, and I
Mhm.
have this hidden in the view that the stream can see, so they do not know who just rolled. I'm going to check in with those players about something a little later after the game.
All right.
But for now, that's not important because the important thing is you all just destroyed the Heart of Darkness. Take a moment to give yourselves a pat on the back, a round of applause, and tell me what would you like to do now that you've accomplished that brutal and bloody deed?
Uh, go cry in a hotel room.
Fair.
I think is what Brigitta would want to do.
uh,
She
Zenobia
just faced her literal nightmare.
before we leave this place, Zenobia will stride. The only way she knows how to move is she'll stride forward and try and, I guess, not really flick, but slosh the blood off of her knife. Even though she's still covered in blood. And
Fantastic.
she'll
Min
look at
is
everybody.
just staring at Zenobia at this point, kind of disgusted and kind of concerned.
Rather messy, but I guess that is to be expected given the environs. Is everyone all right? Are you all put together? Does the little preacher man need to put his hands on you?
I don't like it when you say things like that.
Oh, I'm sure it's totally copacetic.
I'm fine.
I'm sure that August would say, "Don't worry, I don't do anything untowards unless I'm paid for it."
Well, good news. We've destroyed the heart, therefore we have vanquished the great evil. Congratulations, everybody. And she does a little clap. Secondly, I was able to retrieve the book for our dear half-Native American friends, so we've further accomplished that. Round of applause, everybody. She does a further clap. However,
I go ahead.
I was to say, however, my search was a bit limited and pressed given the particularities of the encounter we found ourselves so deeply immersed in. So, if you would like to assist me in perhaps gleaning any additional information we can, aside from the viscera, it would be greatly appreciated.
You mean
Alright.
lootin'?
I think that's what she means. Yes.
Yes, to put it in the vulgar tongue.
Alright. Yeah, let's see. You're not really in any particular rush because everything directly tied to the demonic pseudo god that was worshipped down here did explode into a fine red mist. So I don't think we have to really make too much of a difficulty for the role here. Um, but give me a search roll for everyone. This is just you have the time if you like to just go through things. You're not necessarily in a big rush, but
Sorry, I'm fighting with the cat.
this is a role to represent. You could still miss something because, it's dark down here. He might have hidden stuff, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. I got a 7.
Searching.
August got a 4.
Okay.
I got a 6.
All right. Let's see.
Min
Totoro,
got a
may I
5.
please
Parrot
have
got a
this?
7.
Took
So our
Abby
highs
got a
are a
3.
to find search.
All right.
So we have a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7s.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a flush. Uh,
Yeah, that gives us extra bonuses, right?
in my heart, yes.
It was broken because we had 2 7s.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So I will say the 7s. Amongst the things up here, and I'll move the light source since we don't necessarily have to follow through with everything here. Amongst the things up here, there is a set of crates. That's what's causing all of these shadows off to the left. You can see the crates are marked with the logo of the Blue Diamond Meat Company, and from the dates stamped on them, these are some of the company product that Gerhardt took after his dismissal from employment there. You can also see within the tent there that he's kept some of the correspondence that he had, things like getting in touch with former coworkers to arrange for he really is down on his luck. He just needs like maybe one shift or something like that to cover from someone off the books. Essentially that. There's also a a German language Bible. It is filled with a lot of notes written in German as well. And let's see, what might you find here other than just like his belongings? I think probably in some scratch paper, maybe a couple of pages he's torn from the Bible. You can see something that sort of look like notes. Like you see designs scribbled into it that roughly correspond with designs that you'd find on the central dais over there. And see, beyond that, I think that's all of the main things that you would find here. Does that cover what y'all were looking for?
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
looking for anything. I was just looking for basically useful intelligence stuff. So I grabbed the various correspondences and stuff.
Okay.
And then I just kind of want to analyze the dais to see what shenanigans he was up to ritually.
Sure. Um, let's see.
Since I'm very curious, and this is literally my thing.
So I would say the ideal role uh would probably be academia,
Occult?
religion, academia, anthropology, academia, pre-Columbian cultures of Illinois. But
Occult?
I will say you could roll academia occult at -4.
Okay. That didn't matter. I rolled a 0.
Okay. It you're definitely able to tell just cross-referencing with the book. I don't believe you speak German, correct? Or read
Not yet.
German?
Nope.
So yes, you're able to tell that uh, this is notes that he's taken of some kind. You can see that some things are scratched out and other things are pointed to with arrows. It looks like he was doing some sort of experimentation himself down here with this. But whatever understanding Gerhardt had of how the heart and its corrupt shrine here worked probably died with him, at least at the moment. I guess if you want, you
Okay.
could try and learn more about it yourself, for all the good and bad that that could do.
Yeah, I take out my trusty supernatural notebook and I'm gonna like draw a picture and try and reproduce the dais ritual pattern and language and stuff.
Okay.
It's a
And
handy dandy notebook, but instead of the thinking chair, it has a pentagram.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna try and copy it down basically
Sure. I mean,
for my various arcane
do
notes
you
that I
have
collect.
like graphite or something?
I think I always have like at least a pen in my notebook.
All right. I mean,
um,
yeah, I think you could easily do something like a rubbing to just get like 1 per 1. This is exactly what was on here. Sure.
mhm. Okay.
Okay. You can add rubbing of ritual wicked heart altar notes to your inventory.
Awesome.
Now I have 2 questions as the marshal, and this will sort of help flavor what happens in this sort of epilogue we're going to have in a moment, since we're closing in on the end of the episode. First question: you do know that there were people that to some extent knew something bad was going on here and may have even had inklings of there being something unnaturally fear-worthy. Not to mention the fact that there will still be people who are looking for the whereabouts of the person who killed Grimes, as well as attempted to kill someone else as well.
Um,
With that in
as
mind, what are
yeah,
you going to do about that? What are you going to tell people? And how much of what actually happened here are you going to tell people?
A, I assume, a very edited version of reality. Uh, of like a crazy man that was poisoning shit. If I can be simple as suggesting something. Um, and who died in a fire that we tried to save him or something.
I'm going to
Okay.
pick up one of his elongated bones.
Okay. What are you
Not
going
as-
to do with?
I'm just.
What are you going to do with
I'm
the
going to
bone?
save it for later.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my god.
You can add humanoid abomination giant bone. Let's go with giant femur.
They
Um,
might need proof.
I would. How are they going to be able to tell the fever? It's first of all, it's a giant fever. Like, how is
No,
that going to be
that's what I
proved?
mean. If we don't go the route that is being suggested, we would need proof that hey, something weird was happening, but we took care of it. Here's trophy.
Um, I'm down to tell at least Mrs. O'Leary, since we know she's been involved in this shit about
Yeah, that's
how
fair.
we were able to kill the monster and destroy the heart and everything. I don't know who all was invested in the original monster fighting, so aside from her in that area, like there's no point in like tale telling that. And then
Well, I mean, I
obviously,
would still probably ask for tale telling if you're
yeah, I
going
could do a
to.
tale telling. I'm not
Yeah.
good at it, but I can do it.
Let me see. Does
um,
August have tail? Nah, August
It does
doesn't have
not.
tail telling.
I have 2d6 tale telling because I took it because I'm like, August didn't take it, so
Did
somebody should
I
have it.
take it?
Look,
If I did take it, I don't have it good.
he has a D12 me, and I'm sure he'll take it. Maybe eventually.
Um, so and then obviously gonna report back to the librarian lady about her book and everything and how we were able to destroy the demon spirit and everything.
All right.
Yeah,
So
so
let me go through those a bit as we transition over to the talk screen for a bit here. So, going down the line, what do you tell first to Hank McClellan, the man who originally hired you to get to the bottom of what was happening in the hotel?
I think we give him the we've determined that it was a
No, no,
rat
no.
problem.
Like in character, what do you
Oh.
tell him?
So I think amongst our party, we agree ahead of time what we're gonna
Mm.
say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we should go with a
Min
rat.
doesn't care either way, just she knows that there's going to need to be proof and
Yeah,
evidence if we do tell the true thing.
yeah. So I think we could tell him that there was a huge rat problem that was disturbed by the underground, and it was getting into the building, and we were able to very directly take care of the hive. So that should, in theory, not be an issue anymore. Um, and we think that that was directly connected to the various plumbing issues and stuff,
Eh,
um, dealing with the bad meat that they had been getting access to.
All right. Let me. Yeah, I just rolled for August's persuasion since he would have an additional bonus on top of that, I think, since he
Okay.
certainly had. Yes, he certainly had a closer relationship with your mutual employer. Uh, I think that I think that Hank McClellan accepts this as true. Don't I don't think he would have a reason at this point to be doubtful of everything you all have done for him so far. And he'll be seeing to it that you will get further financial reward for assisting him in this. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. What do you tell? What, if anything, do you tell to the dispossessed people that have been living by the train yard? And you also don't necessarily have to tell all of the people I asked about anything.
I don't think we should tell them anything.
Yeah, I don't think we should
Okay.
tell him anything.
All right. What do you tell the librarians?
uh, I'm fine going into full detail with them, because I know they're in on it.
Yeah, they seem
yeah.
to know what was going on
Yeah.
already.
I give her
Yep.
back her book.
Mary Ironsides is appreciative of this.
Yeah, so I'm fine telling them about, the myth was corroborated and correct. It had unfortunately been disturbed and corrupted this weak individual who was planning nefarious things, but with the incredible information that she had given us about the civilization that lived here, we were able to destroy the heart, and as well as um, anything connected to it, and so that evil should be finally put to rest once and for all.
All right. And finally, what do you tell Catherine O'Leary?
We should give her back her turnip.
Yeah, well, I don't think she wants it after it burned down her fucking town.
It's
um,
up to you, I think.
I mean, it's a family thing.
Zenobia will vote against it. I personally don't care, but Zenobia is very much about hoarding magical artifacts, so she would
I don't
vote to
remember
keep it.
what she said about giving it back.
Uh,
I,
I remember her being pretty neutral.
yeah.
yeah, I think that at this point, the misfire of it is something that, assuming it never gets out what the actual reason that the fire was started, will probably haunt her for the rest of her life while she lives here. Uh, she, I think that she'll probably try to tell other people the truth about this, but of course, because she's the one that sort of blamed in the general consciousness of the city as the cause of all this, that that's just a that's just a burden she will have to live with for the rest of her life.
That's not a me problem, but I will I will tell her everything, and if required, I will try and do telltale.
Do you give
um,
the bone to anyone?
No, I'm keeping it.
Not even to the woman who you could help unruin the life of?
I can show her, but I'm going to keep it in the end.
I think she will be disappointed at the lack of corroborating
Hold on.
proof to clear her name, but
Let me.
I get
I
a
still need
second
it.
bone.
Hold on.
we collect many bones.
I need this for something, and I will give this to you once I am done with that.
She
Okay.
seems
Most
she
normal
seems a
sentiments.
mite bit confused, but
Let me
accepts
just
that much. Are you? What is the final verdict for the turnip lantern?
I would say we should offer to give it back, and if she doesn't want it, we keep
Offer,
it.
yeah.
and I say,
ask if she
and yeah,
wants it.
Zenobia though is adamantly against this.
I
I don't
I
care.
I think she will
If she
take it
reaches out
back.
for it, Zenobia pulls her hand back.
I think
It
she
is a powerful artifact. It could, cause dramatic problems in the future.
Uh, but it also helped solve at least one problem. If nothing else, that will give me some closure.
Well,
To be
if
honest,
you,
we didn't use it.
yeah, well, if
You
you
don't have to
believe
tell her that.
your
Yeah.
panacea the first time is enough to keep it in your custody, then I hope that you stalwartly guard this location as a steward of righteousness and a bulwark against evil.
I I reckon I can do that much. All right.
Grumble, grumble.
Hmm.
And so the first adventure, a little story that began once upon a time in the Midwest and ended with facing down the heart of darkness, comes to a close. But this is also just the
Almost.
beginning.
I'm still not done.
Oh? Do you have
So
a
once
button?
everyone, uh, a button.
On the end of the chapter.
So once everyone's satisfied telling Mrs. O'Leary, and we're starting to head back to our respective hotel rooms, I'm going to go to the rail yards
Okay.
alone. And I'm going to tell them what happened with the bone as proof.
I see. All right. Give me a tale telling roll, and I will say that because you're making a wild claim, but you also have part of the arm of a roughly 12-foot tall human being, that will give you a +4 as a useful prop.
Okay. I'm going to pretend like I have 2 ranks in it. There you go. Have two of those.
Okay.
She's going to be very, I don't know. This is just what I saw. I understand that it's not going to be completely believable, but at the same time, like, it's done and it's gone.
Well, this is a group of people that perhaps more than anyone else in the city was the most directly affected. These are the people that had to live next door to this great big terrifying unknown, and I think that does help some. That is, again, a sense of a little more closure and knowledge for people. And I think that would also help in an indirect way the plight of Mrs. O'Leary, since at least someone knows.
Well, it's
And
in
then
mine.
once that's all taken care of, I will give the bone to Mrs. O'Leary.
Okay. I think she greatly appreciates that. All right. So,
Min couldn't stand just looking over a group of people that were the most directly affected.
What a bleeding heart.
I'm one of
oh.
them.
Dun pun intended.
Ah, took me a second.
So, with the world of the Weird West, you, through your actions today, have made it just a little bit brighter, made the shadows a little weaker, and have brought a sense of safety back to a few more people. And this is just the beginning of what sort of adventures these wayward guns will get up to. But that's all the time we have. So if you want to find out what happens next, you'll just have to join us for it next time on Deadlands, the Wayward Guns. Thank you all so much for coming out for the grand finale of Chapter 1. I had a wonderful time. This has been a long time coming, and I really hope that other folks enjoyed it as much as I did. We'll be I'm hoping at least that we'll be able to get back to a more regularly scheduled uh, week by other week time, but stay tuned for the announcements over Twitch and Twitter and what have you. And I again would like to thank my phenomenal cast for being the leading roles in this little adventure. So just to run through them in reverse order again real quick, starting with Obsidia.
Hey everybody, you remember me? I'm Obsidia. I'm everybody's favorite blood-covered, highfalutin witch in this game. I am also a Death Knight, and I stream D&D and video games and art on Mondays and Wednesdays. Come check me out. The end.
Geronimo is not available to come to the phone right now, but she also streams with a frequent focus on horror. So if you've enjoyed tonight's content, she does stuff that is not too far off, maybe sort of like a cousin once removed of familial content over there. Then we have Hemlock.
I am Hemlock. I'm going to actually move to streaming twice a week soon.
Hell yeah.
I have a bi-weekly when on the weeks we're not doing Deadlands, I'll be playing some Baldur's Gate 3 with a very good friend of mine that I've been waiting to do a collab with. And I'm very excited. So show up.
Excellent. And then Ellie.
I'm Eliador. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter. In about a month's time, will be doing a day one raid that should be live stream. And yeah, come join me for that. It'll probably take like 31 hours.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a heckin' lot.
Maybe not 31. Probably more like 15.
And finally, Epitome.
I'm Epitome. I don't stream. Or if I do, it is not by any schedule and not foreseen in the foreseeable future. Just a reminder, flu season is right around the corner. Start considering when and where you're getting your flu shot. My recommendation is late September or early October personally, but that is just me. In any case, keep yourself safe. Get your flu shot eventually, sometime this season. And have a good one.
Great. And I've been Beef. I played everyone who wasn't one of these fine folks. If you want to see me, congrats. You found the right place. If you want to check me out elsewhere when I am not live, there you go. I'm not going to go over those because I want to make sure I get everyone out of here and tucked into their little beds as soon as I can. Does anyone have a recommendation on who we should raid?
I got a birthday stream.
Oh?
Ooh.
My friend Cricket.
I do like that name.
Yeah, Cricket's an Eldritch horror, and I rigged their main model. They're using a cat orb right now. I don't recognize the cat orb, but it's pleasant. But yeah, their birthday was yesterday, and they're playing City Skylines with friends.
All right. All right. This. All right. If you are a subscriber, here is the raid message I'll be using. If you are a follower, or anyone else for that matter, let's see, what can you do? Like, Let's see, can I quickly swap these out for the cowboy emote? I hope so. Wanna see a cowboy, baby?
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
Baby. Huge shout out to our wonderful DM for this.
Oh.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're great.
I'm getting better. I'm not going to reject it.
Good.
If you
Thanks for
are
playing rat
a
battle.
follower, or you're welcome. If you're a follower or anyone else, there's a generic emote version you can use. And thank you all again so much. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too. And until next time, to be continued, and happy trails, partner.
Yeah.
See ya, hopefully, in 2 weeks, y'all.
Yeah.
Good night. Sweet
Yay.
dreams. Don't let the evil
Bye.
rats bite. All right. Here's a hug. A smooch. Send you on your ways. Good night.